hey, high school literature class, Hamlet, class 1. Why do we have this literature class at all? The purpose is to be able to discuss books. The idea is not just to read a book, check off that you read it, memorize some facts about it, and be done. Why do we read? We read to learn from it. We read because we enjoy it. We read because there's important ideas. I talk with books. I talk with my daughters about their books. In fact, we talk over dinner usually and include their dad, because getting other people's opinion can change how you see the book. It makes for better discussion, right? So there will be 10 students in here. We'll know ahead of time how many weeks will be needed to cover each book. If there's a period of time where you know you're going to miss class, it's okay. Hop out for that book and hop back in for the next one. You are always welcome. This class today, there's a whole lot more of me talking, less group discussion. But going forward, there'll be lots of group discussion. I'll often split the group, at least that's the plan, into 5 and 5, just like we would do in a classroom, but we'll be doing it in different chat rooms online instead, and I can pop into one and then pop into the other, see how things are going. Everyone introduced themselves and shared their favorite books. We got answers like Hunger Games, The Fault in Our Stars, Harley Quinn, lots and lots of books, all the Mysterious Benedict Society, Rainbow, and there was a roll for something one that Aubrey mentioned, and Secret, Shadow Beast, Wings of Fire, Keeper of the Lost Cities, more Hunger Games, Six of Crow, Twilight, The Summer I Turned Pretty, lots of great books everyone introduced themselves with. Speaking of books, there is a link to a Google Sheet in the assignments section. Everyone is to fill in their name and 10 to 20 books that you love. Then, the goal is to have that done by Friday so that you can log back on, look at all the books, and create some kind of chart that shows your takeaway from that. You can make a pie chart showing what percentage of these books are sci-fi, fantasy, horror, romance, biography. You could take as many as 4 people, I wouldn't go more than that, and create a Venn diagram showing where your overlap is. You know, it might be, Rosie and Caitlin have overlap with Keeper of the Lost Cities, and Miss Jess and them, we all read Harry Potter, but I'm over here, I just read Superpowers, and showing where your books overlap. That can be helpful because when you find someone else who likes a lot of the same books as you, probably means if they've read something you haven't, you might like it. Another way of showing the results of the great book spreadsheet is a word cloud. I love word clouds. You could say, hey, this book appeared on 9 people's lists. So you write that title pretty big. And then here's some books that appeared on 4 people's lists. Write those in a medium font and then fill in with all the one-offs. It just can be a neat way to visually represent data. So take a little bit of time then. So assignment 1, put your book list on the spreadsheet. Assignment 2, create some kind of chart with your takeaway from that. The Venn diagram, a pie chart, a word cloud. Thing number 3, you probably will have a book listed that is not on everyone else's list. Be ready to give, I called it an elevator pitch for that book. If you've never heard of an elevator pitch, here's the setup. You've got this great new idea for the company, and your boss is on the elevator with you. You have the length of an elevator ride to describe your idea to him. It really makes you think about how to express your ideas succinctly. So have maybe not an elevator pitch. Elevator rides are pretty short. Maybe a waiting in grocery store line pitch for what your favorite book is. You can write it out as a paragraph or just be ready to share, but it's meant to be a short thing to share one of your favorite books with the group. All right. we started talking about Hamlet. Why are we reading Hamlet? Why do people still read Shakespeare? A lot of ideas were brought up. We read Shakespeare because it's good stories. They were good stories then, they're good stories now. Sure. There's important lessons in them. Sure. Because it's in the category of things you're expected to know. A lot of the same answers for why do we read books in general. You read to learn something. You read because you like it. You read because other people expect you to know it. Okay? So we're reading Hamlet. If it's easier for you to simply read the plain text and not work through the original language, I'm okay with that. After all, if we're reading something because it's a good story, then why not read it in whatever form is easiest for you? If we're reading it because there's just important life lessons, what's the difference between reading a bullet point list of life lessons and reading the story? Students brought up that it's more meaningful and you get more out of it when instead of just a list of rules and morals and lessons learned, it's within a story. It sticks with you better. Okay. One of the dangers of reading Hamlet, though, is you have to remember it was written in a time and place. And that time and place did not treat women the way we do. If you spend all of your time reading literature, normalizing the Elizabethan ideal of women, that's not how I want to raise my children. I don't think it's how your parents want you raised. In Hamlet, Ophelia is the model of what women would read in Elizabethan advice books. Please don't take Ophelia as the model of how to act. Perfectly demure and quiet and never speaking up. Let the men speak. No. So just be mindful as we read books. They are written in a time and place, and don't take them all as advice, right? This week, I'd like everyone to read Act 1. You're going to have to let me know if it's too much. I am not familiar enough with everyone's reading speed. I don't want this to be overwhelming. So try to read through Act 1. Every time I give you a reading assignment, you are going to, here it is, la 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 la. There's this sheet here. It's linked in the assignment section. And it says you're going to keep a reading log. When you read, you're going to write in your reading log. Label each entry with what it was you were reading. In this case, Act 1. You are responsible to write a summary. Now, I would like you to try to write the summary yourself after doing the reading. That said, I planned it as your teacher, I'm saying, try to write a summary yourself. And I'm okay with you looking up help on that. Your parents are ultimately in charge of your education. And if they say, no, you're not looking up help on the summary, I want you to do it yourself. Turns out they are your adults. Otherwise, if they have no problem with it, neither do I, that you can look up, hey, what's a summary of Hamlet, Act 1? Then, after you write your summary, thing number 2, you choose, there's A, B, C, D, E, F. There's 6 more choices. You can pick one of them. One choice is write a simple summary. Write just one sentence that says what happened in that act. It's actually harder to write less than write more. There was once, I don't know if it was Jefferson or Hamilton or someone said, oh, I'm sorry, my letter's so long. If I had less time. Or rather, they said, I'm sorry, my letter's so long. If I had more time, I'd have written it shorter. So try to get a 1-sentence summary. Or you can write a few questions you have about the text, questions you would ask one of the characters. Maybe another choice here is maybe you want to pull out a quotation you really like. Pull a quote out from Act 1. You could also bring it to life, pretend you're an actor. and say how you would play it out. You could describe your reaction to reading this. You could create art, either find or make art that represents this. There's a list on that sheet. As I mentioned, it's in the assignment section. There's a link to a Google Doc. In the end, you'll have a summary of Hamlet that you wrote. When we go see it in person, that will help you to keep up with what's going on. In class, we will be reading it aloud, sections. It's meant to be read aloud. It's a play. It's meant to be performed. It's meant to be exciting and brought to life in front of you. So I think that's pretty much what class is today, talking about what we're doing in general in this class, book by book. Going to be a lot of discussion. If the reading's moving too fast, you've got to let me know. I don't want it to be rushed. The point is not to rush. The point is to go slowly and talk about these books and talk about ideas. After Hamlet, we're going to do, it was in my head and then I lost it. The Words in My Hands. That is a book about a deaf teenager exploring how she fits in the world. Then we're going to go and do one that's a little bit harder again, called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And then after that is a really cool graphic novel about someone going to Japan, trying to reconnect with their Japanese heritage. So we're going to go back and forth between some more challenging books and some easier books, between things that are in the you should read this as an educated person, and books that have important ideas or that we just love. We're here because we love books and we want to learn. If you have questions, ask. I'm here. This is the theory of homeschool, right? I'm not an expert in any one thing. I am an adult here to help guide your education. When I taught biology, I was clear. I'm not a biologist. I created an environment in which everyone could do biology labs, and I'd answer all the questions I could and help get you connected with resources for the things I don't know. Similarly here, I am not a great, doctor of literature. What I am is a person who cares and loves books and is ready to connect you with resources as needed so we can all learn together. Okay? Be sure you get your favorite books put in on the spreadsheet, create some kind of word art chart graph, and read Act 1 and get your reading log going.